Hello student, this is the third part of the lesson Agriculture Geography class 10th. In previous part we have seen some food crops, then commercial crops, oil seeds, then horticulture groups and non-food crop. In that we have completed or we have discussed that is of the rubber. Then second, fiber crops, cotton, jute, hemp and natural silk are the four major fiber crops that grown in India. First three are derived from the crops grown in the soil. The latter is obtained from cocoon of the silkworm fed on the green leaves, especially mulberry. Rearing of silkworm for the production of silk fiber is known as sericulture. So what is sericulture? Sericulture, it is the practice for rearing of silkworm. For what purpose? For the production of silk fiber. And that term is known as sericulture. The next crop in the category of fiber crop, that is cotton. Cotton in India is believed to be the original home of cotton plant. It is believed that India or cotton, it is originated in India or original home of the cotton. Cotton is one of the main raw material for cotton textile industry. In 2014, India was second largest producer of the cotton after the China. Cotton grows well in the drier part of the black soil. Which type of soil is required for the cotton cultivation? Drier part of the black soil cotton of this Deccan Plateau. It requires high temperature for cultivation of the cotton is require high temperature, light, rainfall or irrigation and 210 frost-free days and bright sunshine for its growth. It is kharif crop and requires 6 to 8 months. This one is kharif crop, means sowing season from the onset of monsoon, that is June, July, and it requires 6 to 8 months, means span is greater than the other crops to mature for the maturity. Major cotton producing states, they are Maharashtra, then Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Punjab, Haryana and Uttar Pradesh. If we consider about in Maharashtra, Yavatmal in Vidarbha is famous for the cotton cultivation. Next fiber crop is jute. It is known as golden fiber. The jute, because of the color, yellowish color or gold color, it is known as golden fiber. You might have seen. Jute grows well on the well-drained, fertile soil in the flood plains where soil are renewed every year. High temperature is required during the time of growth. What type of temperature required for the growth of jute? That is high temperature. And areas which are familiar or renowned for the cultivation of jute, that is West Bengal, then Bihar, Assam, Odisha and Meghalaya. These are the major jute producing states in India. It is used in making gunny bags. Gunny bags means which is used for the containing food grain. Now plastic bags are familiar, but traditionally these gunny bags which has special significance in place of the farmers. Then mats, ropes, even yarn, carpets and other artifacts. All these things, for making these things, required jute as a raw material. Due to its high cost, because cost of the jute it is high, and because of this only it is losing market, because it is not affordable. High cost is not affordable to the poor people or common people, to synthetic fibers and packaging material, particularly of nylon. Now alternative is there of the jute, because jute price is high, and comparing to that synthetic fibers and packing materials, nylon and some plastic material, this cost of this material is very high, very low, and it is the substitute of the jute. So this is all about the jute. The next is technological and institutional reforms. What are the technological and institutional reforms? So it was mentioned in the previous pages that agriculture has been practiced in India for thousands of years. Means agriculture practice, it is not new for us. It is from the ancient period. Sustained use of land without compatible techno-institutional changes have hindered the pace of agricultural development. In spite of the development of sources of irrigation, most of the farmers in large part of the country still depend upon the monsoon and natural fertility in order to carry on their agriculture. Means now technologically reforms that came, farmers they use HYV seeds, irrigation, chemical fertilizers, pesticides, all this. But still some farmers or from some regions, they use traditional equipments and inputs or natural fertility, and they depend upon monsoon or only rainfall instead of irrigation. For a growing population, this poses a serious challenge, because growing population require more and more food grain, and as we know, land it is, we can't increase or decrease land. So whatever land is there present, we have to cultivate more and more food grain in that limited land resource. So agriculture, which provide the livelihood for more than 60% of its population, and agriculture provide this livelihood, or people depends upon the agriculture, they are 60%, needs some serious technical and technical and institutional technical and institutional reforms. Thus, collectivization, consolidation of holding, cooperation, abolition of the zamindari, etc., were given priority to bring about the institutional reforms in the country after the independence. So, all these reforms that came in India after the independence, and which are these: collectivization, consolidation of holding lands, cooperation and abolition of the zamindari. Because in previously people had lot of land, they were called zamindars, and they were unable to cultivate his land by only himself. So he used to give his land for cultivation to the tillers, and they were from them they were getting the dues or earning. So this system that was abolished were given the priority, and all this comes under the institutional reforms. Land reform was the main focus of our first 5-year plan. When first 5-year plan launched after the independence, that time the given priority for the bringing reformation in land, because we wanted to be a self-sufficient in the food matter. So the right of inheritance had already led to the fragmentation of land holding, necessities consolidation of holding. मीन्स अभी जो है वो इनहेरिटेंस, राइट ऑफ इनहेरिटेंस के कारण जमीन जो है, लैंड, इट इज डिवाइडेड अमंग द डिफरेंट, among the small patches to their inheritance. Means individual holding of land size is now very small. The law of land reforms were enacted, but the implementation was lacking of lukewarm. Means law that because law of land that reform, they were enacted, but actual there is need of the implementation, and for the implementation was lacking of the lukewarm. Means implementation that was not going properly of this land reform. The government of India embarked upon the introducing agricultural reforms to improve the Indian agriculture in 1960 and in 1970. This decade that was very important for the reform, for bringing reform in the agriculture. Green Revolution. So Green Revolution based on the use of package technology and white revolution, that is Operation Flood, were some of the strategies initiated to improve the lot of Indian agriculture. Means white revolution and green revolution taken place. Green revolution means production increase of the food grain, and white revolution, it is related to the milk and their product. But this too led to the concentration of development in few selected areas. Means areas are not equally distributed or occupy of this green and white revolution. Some of the selected few areas or concentration of the development in few areas are there. Therefore, in 1980 and 1990, 1980 and 1990, comprehensive land development program was initiated. Which year was that? 1980 and 1990. This one was the period. Comprehensive land development program that was initiated, which included both that institutional and technological or technical reforms. Comprehensive land development program, what initiative taken place in that program in that year and this year 1980 and 1990, that institutional and technical reforms brought in this period. Provision for crops insurance against the drought, flood, cyclone, fire and diseases. Establishment of the Gramin banks, cooperative societies and bank for providing loan facilities to the farmers at lower rate of the interest were some of the important steps in this direction. Means all these are important for the important step in the institutional and technical reforms. Again I am repeating it. Means some natural disaster, crop insurance given against some natural disaster, and which are these natural disaster? Drought, flood, cyclone, fire and diseases. These are the natural disasters, and farmers gets if they insure their crops, then it becomes the security of the farmers. But before to that, they have to insure all this. Then establishment of Gramin bank in their local areas, establishment of the bank for getting easy loan to the needy farmers for purchasing inputs which require for the agricultural production. Then cooperative societies means voluntary, some group of people that comes together and pool their resources, and then they gives loans to the needy farmers or needy peoples for the specific reason, that is called or they provide also services, that is cooperative societies. And banks for providing loan facilities to the farmers at the lower rate of the interest. Means these banks, local level banks, from these banks farmers get the cheap means cheap loan means less with less interest. Generally, we have seen in economics how small farmers they get loan or they approach to the informal source of loan or private whose rate of interest is much generally much more. For example, money lenders, so they hire lot of interest and most of the their income goes for paying the loan because of high interest. So in this program they get sick or they means they gets the loan easily. Then another one, Kisan Credit Card, that is KCC, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme, Personal Accident Insurance Scheme, that is PAIS, PAIS, are some other schemes introduced by the Government of India for the benefit of farmers. All these are the reforms. Even though now it is discussing the issues in Delhi, that is MSP. MSP means minimum support price. Generally, before the cultivation or before the sowing season, they get sure or they get the information or surety that what would be the price of their cultivated crops before the sowing season. Means it becomes the motivation for the farmers by introducing or announcing the MSP, minimum support price. And farmers now they are very aggressive and now or they act as a what we say pressure group on the government. Discussion is going on, but still their strike is there for raising their demands. So here, Government of India, for the benefit of the farmers, they introduced this scheme, that is KCC and PAIS, PAIS, Kisan Credit Card and Personal Accident Insurance Scheme. Moreover, special weather bulletins and agriculture program for the farmers. Weather bulletins and agriculture programs for the farmers were introduced on the radio and television because these are the mass media and maximum farmers. This media is accessible to the farmers, radio and television. That is why it is or weather bulletin and agricultural programs they introduced in the TV and with the media, that TV and radio. The government also announces minimum support price, just we have discussed, remunerative and procurement prices for the important crops to check the exploitation of farmers by the speculator and middleman. Generally, exploitation takes place of these farmers by whom? By the speculators and middlemen, because farmers they have to face the difficulties while cultivating the production. Unexpected problems, weather problems, temperature, rainfall, all these are the natural disaster they have to face, and after harvesting takes the benefit of this situation by whom? That speculators and middle person. So there is need to interfere the government in such a matter for because to check the exploitation of farmers. by this middle person and speculators. So all this about the technological and institutional reforms and what we expect and what provisions made by the government and what is needs still, all this it given, even though green revolution, white revolution, all these things we have discussed in this technological and institutional reforms. Now Bhudan and Bhudan Gramdan. This is the Bhudan and Gramdan. These are very familiar words for us. So directly we come to the matter of this. Mahatma Gandhi, who is national leader, he declared Vinoba Bhave as his spiritual heir. Spiritual heir means inheritance और हेयर वारसदार. स्पिरिचुअल मीन्स आध्यात्मिक वारसदार जिसे कह सकते हैं. ही ऑल्सो participated in the satyagraha. Who? Vinoba Bhave. He participated in the satyagraha as one of the foremost satyagrahis. As you know, Mahatma Gandhi's satyagraha movement that was very familiar in the history. And Vinoba Bhave, he also participated in this satyagraha with him. He was one of the votaries of the Gandhiji's concept of the Gram Swaraj. Concept of what? Gram Swaraj. After the Gandhiji's martyrdom, Vinoba Bhave undertook Padayatra to spread the Gandhiji's message, because earlier we stated he was the spiritual heir of Mahatma Gandhi, who? Vinoba Bhave. And after Mahatma Gandhi, Vinoba Bhave undertook the Padayatra. Spread for what purpose? To spread the Gandhiji's message. Covered almost the entire country. Once when he was delivering a lecture, of Panchampally. Where it is? It is in the Andhra Pradesh. Some poor landless villagers demanded same land for their economic well-being. When he was delivering lecture to the villagers, so those who were poor landless villagers, what was their demand? Their demand was demanded some land for their economic well-being. Vinoba Bhave could not promise it to them immediately. इन्होंने immediately promise नहीं दिया, but assured them to talk to the government of India. But he gave the assurance to that on this matter he would going to talk with the government of India regarding the provision of land for them if they undertook cooperative farming. Means he gave the weightage for cooperative farming. Suddenly, Sri Ramchandra Reddy stood up. One of the person whose name was Ramcharan Reddy, he stood up there and offered 80 acres of land to distribute it among the 80 landless villagers. See here, means that was the donation of land, and that concept is called the Bhudan. Bhu means land, and Dan means donate. So in that, when he was giving addressing, at that time suddenly this Ramchandra Reddy stood and he gave his 80 acres land to the landless villagers. दिस एक्ट वॉज नोन एज भूदान, और इसी एक्ट को क्या कहा? भूदान. भू मीन्स लैंड, दान मीन्स डोनेट. Later he traveled and introduced his ideas widely all over the India. And some zamindars means those who are having lot of land, just like this Chandra Reddy, owner of the many villages, offered to distribute some villages among the landless. It was known as ग्रामदान. और उसी को क्या दिया है बताए? ग्रामदान. ग्राम मीन्स गांव, दान मीन्स डोनेट. Some zamindars, owner of many villages, they offered to distribute some villages. They offered to distribute some villages among the landless. It was known as Gramdan. However, many landowners choose to provide some part of their land to the poor farmers due to the fear of land selling act. Land selling act they introduced. Land selling act means those who had lot of land. So the government, as per this act, started confiscation of their land and started distribution to the landless peasant farmers. This Bhudan Gramdan movement that was initiated by whom? Vinoba Bhave, and is also known as bloodless revolution. That was known as bloodless revolution. So in this way, contribution of Vinoba Bhave, who was the spiritual heir of the Gandhiji, outstanding contribution for getting the lands to the needy villagers, peasant farmers, and giving land to the villages. This initiative taken by the Vinoba Bhave, his outstanding contribution was there. So all this about the Bhudan and Gramdan. Now we discuss related to the contribution of agriculture to the national economy, employment and output. Agriculture, maximum people or 60% people, they are dependent on agriculture, which is primary activity. We have seen in the economics, means national economy, it is based on the agriculture, and this agriculture is most labor absorbing activity. Means maximum people, they get employment opportunity, employment opportunity in this agricultural sector. And what is the output, or how it is related to the GDP, gross domestic product, because agriculture has been the backbone of this Indian economy through its share in the gross domestic product. That is gross domestic product, there is share of the Indian economy has registered a decline trend from 1951 onward in 2010 and 11. About 52% of the total workforce, 52% of the total workforce was employed by the farm sector. How much workforce that was employed in 2010 and 11? 52%. Farm sector, which makes more than half of the Indian population. Means more than half of the Indian population, they are dependent on the agricultural activities or agriculture for their sustenance or for their survival. The decline share of agriculture in the GDP is matter of serious concern. Now GDP is decline in the agricultural sector, and it is the matter of the serious, this is the serious concern, this is the matter of serious concern, because the decline and stagnation in the agriculture will lead to a decline in other sphere of the economy, having wide implication for the society, because growth in agricultural sector that gives boost to the secondary sector and tertiary sector. Secondary means industrial sector and tertiary means transport sector, service sector. So there is need to growth in this primary sector. So here we are going to end of this part. So thank you students.